Ladies and gentlemen, oh man do I have a movie for you. It's called When the Bough Breaks, or is it When the Bough Breaks? Either way, it should be called When You Ignore Red Flags.
I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
Within 10 minutes of this film, and that includes the opening production credits, you can tell something is not quite right here. And within those 10 minutes, I knew this film would be peak cinema.
And here we go.
You see, this film doesn't hold your hand as it guides you through the story. Oh no, it drags you through, whether you like it or not. But look at me getting ahead of myself. Where are my manners? The movie is about a couple, Laura and John, played by Regina Hall and Merce Chestnut, who want to have a child but are having a tough go at it. So they decide to use a surrogate. Having gone through presumably a list of potential candidates, she settles on Anna, played by Jazz Sinclair. Why Anna? Well, because Laura likes her. And that's reason enough in my book. I mean, background checks be damned. A cute face like hers could never do harm.
Are you sure about that?
As the days, weeks, and months go by, Anna develops an insatiable obsession for John. In fact, she takes a nice long swim in the crazy pool, becoming more unhinged with every scene. So, on the face of it, this sounds like the makings of a good film with plenty of promise. But actually, the writing, lack of true character motivations, the ridiculous things some characters do or don't do, swiftly closes the door on such promise. You see, I love it when a movie doesn't spend time developing characters. Why do we need to know a character's motivation? Or what drives them? That just gets in the way of what's really important. Drama. And for that, writers, I applaud you. But what this movie has, which is even worse than it having a semblance of depth, good writing, or characters, is that it can be really boring. And for that, dear writer, you should So in the opening scenes of the movie, we learn that Laura is fixated on wanting a baby. She's down to her last egg and has had 3 miscarriages in the past. We later learn that as a woman, she feels less than because she's unable to have a child. Given that she's down to her last egg, she pushes all her chips to the middle of the table and bets on Anna as her surrogate. Laura is so blinded by wanting to have a baby that she looks past any and every red flag. So during the bedroom scene, we're hit with our first foreshadowing of things to come, as Laura speaks about Anna and says she's so shy but there's something else there, like I don't know, she can take care of herself. We also learn about John, who initially seems like a semi-voice of reason, as he has concerns about Laura's willingness to cut corners regarding background checks, but ultimately concedes to his wife's wishes. So Laura invites Anna and her fiancé Mike to their home for dinner to essentially speed up the process by getting Anna to accept being a surrogate. It is here that we learn that Laura and John are willing to pay in exchange for Anna carrying their baby. It is also here where we get our first red flags. So the fiancé Mike is given weird vibes. Something that the actor, what's his name again? He plays this role like really well. Like he does this weird bad guy role in almost everything I've seen him in. So he's giving off weird vibes. And then Anna also says this: I've never had anything that anybody wanted before, except the obvious. I've never been able to give anybody anything. Ding ding ding. This is weird for someone to say. Yet Laura ignores it because baby fever is beating her badly. Even when John brings up Mike's behavior, she excuses it. So they proceed with Anna being a surrogate and she gets pregnant. The couple are elated and then we're blessed with this scene. John is happy with the news and goes over to Anna to hug her, but it's awkward as hell.
No, Anna, this is... It's great news.
Embarrassing.
But what comes after this is that we see Anna looking at Laura all sus.
You don't find that suspicious?
Fast forwarding through the movie, John has to drop Anna home as Mike did not pick her up from a doctor's appointment. When they arrive at the home, Mike is mean mugging John and giving strong abuser vibes. But why? Why is Mike acting this way?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
There was no indication John was doing something or was even interested in Anna at all. Mike is just mean mugging for no reason. So these strong abuser vibes were later confirmed as John has to pick up Anna after she gets assaulted by Mike. Now this whole scene confuses me even after watching it twice because I don't get what its purpose is. Why did her fiancé abuse her? Because what we later find out about Anna and Mike is that they're running this baby surrogate scheme. She gets pregnant for the unsuspecting couple and every month will request additional payments or threaten to abort the baby if they don't get paid. By the way, out of all the scams one could pull, you know, like credit card fraud, scamming the elderly, identity theft, this is the scam that you go with? This is what you settle on?
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
So back to my original thought. Why did Mike abuse her? Is it so that she could stay at Laura and John's? Or did he abuse her because he's God's gift to humanity? No, what? If it's so that she could stay at their place, it doesn't make sense because he continues to abuse her later. And furthermore, they could still execute their scam regardless of where they're at. So clearly that doesn't make sense. So it has to be because he's a bad guy. And if so, what does it do for the story? Is it to humanize her? Because that doesn't really work considering that she progressively becomes crazier. So why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
Because it's peak cinema, that's why. And another thing, I love it when an actor overacts a scene. It makes me know how passionate they are. Like Theo Rossi's character is so evil, but he can't tell you that he's evil. So he just puts in more oomph to let you know, hey, this character is evil. Evil! And I love it. Anyway, so Anna is now living with Laura and John, and she's slowly transforming from this shy little girl into this femme fatale who's giving off psycho killer vibes. First of all, she was clearly paying attention in Psycho Killer 101 as she watches John and Laura have sex. She then starts to covet their relationship. She wants John as she sees him as the perfect man. She expresses this to Laura, who was wearing this amazing red dress, that Laura is lucky to have a man like John. That's a red flag. But a mini one, because if it were an isolated incident, it's not a big deal. But then she later gets John to touch her pregnant belly. Another mini red flag. Weird, but not so much of a big deal in isolation. But then, she says things like, it's a little weird that I'm pregnant with your baby, that you're inside me in that way.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Clear red flag. But John ends up playing it off. Next we see him invite her to a charity event that he and his wife will be hosting at their home. The event takes place and Anna wears the same red dress that Laura wore. And honestly, they both look hella fine in that dress. And I'm here looking at John like,
It should have been me, not him!
So at this point, I mean, it's clear as day. Anna is a literal red flag. Like, it cannot be any clearer. Yet when Laura confronts her about wearing the dress, Anna gives some BS excuse and Laura eats it up.
Damn! That shit good!
Fast forward, Anna steps up the flirting, John tries to ignore it, she purposefully gets naked in front of him, she sends him sexually suggestive videos at his workplace. Meanwhile, Laura is oblivious to this. She only thinks that Anna has a little crush. Again, she's seeing the red flags and ignoring them. John, surprisingly, despite being sent videos, doesn't communicate that it's more than just a little crush. He later explains this by saying he just wanted his wife to have the best experience during this surrogate process. What a lad. Husband of the year. Why communicate to your wife when you can simply ignore the problem? After all, swiftly dealing with problems are for losers. So in later scenes, Mike out of the blue appears in John and Laura's home. And you know, despite living in $1 million home, I guess they couldn't afford a security system. Either that or they left Mike a spare key in case he felt like visiting. Anyway, he appears and assaults Anna for not following through with the plan to scam. Later, we then see that Anna has decided on a better plan. And that plan was to creep up behind Mike and
stick him with the pointy end.
Anna kills Mike and dumps him in the basement of his home. Now, the fiancé angle in this movie was totally unnecessary, and that's why it's so worth watching. It was peak cinema. Anyway, Anna is full-blown psychotic now. She's harassing John at his work, and we get the reveal that there's more to to Anna than meets the eye. Ooh, this foreshadowing has come full circle. Her backstory was revealed like, bruh, honestly, I was going to explain it, but it was so mixed up and I don't even want to try to untangle it. Just know she has daddy issues, hence her attraction to John. So time passes, Anna is basically 9 months pregnant, give or take, and one night she finally makes an overt act by pressing John to kiss her and states that he's the only one for her. John refuses but quickly recognizes that it was a bad decision because this lady is unstable and starts saying, I can't live like this, while playing with scissors on a nearby desk.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
John manages to calm her down and get the scissors away from her. She then confesses her love to John, he acknowledges it and asks her to go back to bed. Anna leaves the room that they were in and John later follows behind her. As he exits, he sees her near a glass table. Inexplicably, she picks up a chair and drops it on the table, smashing it. And I'm left confused, like, what just happened? I thought things were fine. Was something cut from the movie or did I miss something? And then I thought to myself, leaving the audience in complete confusion is exactly what a fantastic film would do. If Matrix Revolutions can do it, why can't this film? This is peak cinema. So Anna runs off, John chases after her. She grabs a knife and starts claiming he lied to her. News to me, but if you say so. So she tries to leave the house while screaming on the top of her voice. John chases after her. Laura, shoot, at this point I forgot about her. She comes out and is trying to figure out what's going on, same like me. Anna claims that John doesn't love her and lies about John having sex with her when Laura is away. Given this whole commotion, within seconds, the police come to the scene. I'm guessing that's the privilege rich neighborhoods have. So the police arrive and they basically take Anna's side. Then they allow her to leave. Laura is distraught because the baby's gone. As I said before, she feels less of a woman because she can't have a baby herself. At this point, Laura felt like a one-note character where all that is filled in her head is, I need a baby. Give me the baby. Please don't take the baby. I want the baby. I'm like, lady, you need therapy. Seek therapy. John consoles her. They later consult with, I'm guessing, a doctor / lawyer / consultant. And he basically tells them that by law, they have no right to the baby despite it being their embryo. Anna would have to give up her legal rights to the child. Now, this is where the movie really hits its stride. While with a private investigator, Laura and John tries to figure out their next step. And then Laura conceives, yes, pun intended, the most brilliant and logical plan known to man. You see, because Anna is still in love with John, the plan is for John to convince Anna that he's in love with her and that he's going to leave Laura. If Anna is convinced, she will stay and have the baby with him.
Check out the big brain on bread.
But even if the plan works, how will they ever get Anna to sign over her legal rights?
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
But they forge ahead with the plan. John takes Anna to their lake house. He kisses her and makes her believe he's in love with her. Anna then says, I'm going to make you so happy, John. I want you to know everything that I am is yours. All of me. Everything forever.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
What can I say? I like my women with a dash of crazy. Anyway, we later see John reporting to Laura about the situation. But unbeknownst to John, Anna follows him and sees him hugging and kissing Laura.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you? See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
So she's tight and then devises a devious plan. She gets John and his PI, not sure why he's still around, to go to a hospital under the guise that she's gone there to give birth. When they arrive at the hospital, they realize Anna has lied. Given how crazy Anna is, surely John realizes that he should rush back to Laura, right?
How about no?
Instead, him and his PI end up at her old home where they discover Mike's body. I was gonna comment on how unnecessary this scene was, and by nature how unnecessary the Mike storyline is, and that essentially they're clearly padding the runtime here. But then I came to the conclusion that
I don't care.
So back at the home, Anna terrorizes Laura by killing her cat, then proceeds to give her the beats. But during this process, her water breaks and the baby was like,
I'm gonna come.
Laura sees sees this and manages to grab her phone to call 911. But instead of saying, "Help, I'm getting my ass whipped by a deranged pregnant woman," she says, "Please come now, she's having a baby." Like, you can't make this up. Writers, you have done a fantastic job with this movie. The Lord's work. Before delivering the final blows, Anna is hit with some major contractions and she falls beside Laura. In the next scene, we see Laura at the hospital and we're told that Anna has gone to a different hospital and has given birth. She was then discharged. So they figure the only place she could be is at the lake house. I guess hotels don't exist in this universe. Anyway, John and Laura heads to the lake house where John finds Anna and the baby sleeping. You see, let me let you in on something here. Their genius plan is to steal the baby from Anna.
You serious?
So while John steals the baby, Anna wakes up and attacks him. A fight ensues, but ultimately John wins.
Suplex City, bitch!
He hobbles with the baby to the car where Laura is waiting. As they are about to leave, Anna shows up with a shotgun and fires. Laura says she's sick of her and runs her over with the car, killing her. We then cut to Laura and John with the baby. Sirens then start blurting in the background as the cops are on their way. John then looks to Laura and says, "It's going to be okay," and the movie ends. Two things. Firstly, the movie ends abruptly because the writers don't have a plan to get the main characters out of orange jumpsuits for murder and kidnapping, as well as the child they were so desperate to have being placed in a foster home. But secondly, and most importantly, Morris Chestnut and Jazz Sinclair almost ruined this movie for me. In the scene where they're together, it was like they didn't get the message that good acting will not be entertained. Their acting made it difficult to enjoy what could otherwise have been an awesomely dreadful movie. Thank God Mike, with his one-note acting and the script, understood the assignment. And honestly, since Mike was barely in it, the script really had to do the heavy lifting. That said, the moral of the story is never do background checks and ignore all red flags. When the bow breaks, or the bow breaks, 4 to 5 stars.